Hi, this is Dorene at Fusion Pilates. So today I'm going to talk about the good old rib thrust. So those of you who have been hanging out in my classes, you understand what I'm talking about when I say rib thrust. So basically your thoracic spine towards the lower end, T11, T12. If you are someone who takes your rib cage and throws it forward in this kind of position, meaning that your ribs are not in a neutral position, down and relaxed, in regard to a neutral lumbar. So you've got your neutral lumbar, but we also need to have a neutral rib cage. So a lot of us trick ourselves into thinking we're doing one thing with our arms when actually we're moving the rib cage around. And by that I mean, if your client can only lift their arms up this high without their shoulders coming up into their ears, another way that they get around that is to take the rib cage and thrust the rib cage forward, making my arms look like they went higher to the sky. I really did not move my arms, I moved my ribs. So if I drop my rib cage back down to its neutral place, my arms are then forward of, I guess that would be 180, I'm not very good with math. So again, when I take the ribs and I bring them forward, my shoulders rotate back, but only because I'm doing that at the expense of my spine. So a lot of people complain about pain in the lower thoracic, upper lumbar area, but it's because they're doing something with their ribs and not with their arms, right? So in that case, you'd be working on understanding where their real range of motion is with their shoulders and how to get the rib cage back into a neutral. And one way I've been showing people how to do that is to start walking yourself down until the lower rib cage comes to the ground. And this would also be a position that you would achieve when you're doing a roll up. But if you're someone who thrusts the ribs forward, when I keep going down to the ground, notice that my ribs float up and I've got this big space behind me. And that could be because of tightness in many areas, psoas, hamstrings, rectus femoris, your abdominals, and various other places. So I've been having people work with propping, bringing the floor up to them. So we get the lower ribs onto the ground and then take various props, and it could be any sort of prop, and place them so that they can relax in this position, having the rib cage be neutral with a neutral pelvis. So we've already established what neutral pelvis is, and then we're going to work on a neutral rib cage. And then from here, I can start to move into various other exercises, and I'll show you how to start moving your shoulders and working on some shoulder flexibility and mobility in part 2.